Hey guys, this is Ed, man, and I want to say thank you guys so much for 300 subscribers. It means so much to me. I am planning on doing some like the requested videos that some of you guys in the comments have requested me to do, and continuing playthroughs that I'm still doing, but I couldn't usually find the time or you know getting my computer to work right at those moments when I have time. But I'm working on getting, a new set, so I won't have a hard time, recording and editing videos. And yeah, I'm getting a new editor soon. I've used Movie Maker for so long. Microsoft already stopped supporting this editor like years ago. I think it was like 2 years ago. So I'm gonna have to get a new editor at this point. But anyway, just you guys just hang in there. I'm gonna get trying my best to get a new set. Now that I have a job, so if manage to get it, new videos will be on the way. So for today's video, I want to talk about why am I gonna drop? I'm gonna basically drop E3, not watch it no more because I've watched E3 in the past and I just never been a fan of this kind of press conference hype thing. I mean, I understand that it's good to be excited for new games, new good games, but man, when I get to this video, I will talk about why does this conference just disappoints me almost every year. So basically, so basically, every year I feel as though it's like the same thing. You get, some hard to sit through conferences, some good conferences, and winners of those conferences, they might win another year or a year or two just do outright terrible, just not very good, have like one of the worst E3s ever. Then they take that criticism the next year, then they win, then the next year, oh, they are not that good again. It's just they don't have a consistency of having a good press conference. It's just never a good consistency. That's my biggest issue of E3. And the fact that you gotta sit there through their talk about, oh, we got this little new technology, or oh, check out this performance of this person who has never played games before, or check out this singer. Oh my gosh. Ubisoft was one of the worst back in 2015. Oh man. But anyway, but here's another issue I have with E3, and it's just the fact that usually a lot of games get shown off, and there's not much talk about, some of the more underrated or games that are coming out that just were overlooked, some of the more niche titles that usually gets overlooked, especially like smaller like Japanese studios. They don't take time to like highlight those. If you're not like with Bandai Namco, Square Enix, and I guess maybe I could say Atlas or Sega or something like that. If you're not with Bandai Namco or Square Enix, your game just gets in the dust. Or if you're just an indie studio or a smaller studio that didn't produce a big budget, a big big triple A game title, then it bites the dust too. So yeah, I mean, like look at last year. I was so excited for Kiwami 2 to be announced at E3 because it was coming August, and I was sitting through the Sony press conference and they just didn't show it. Well, there was an E3 trailer, but it was in the booths, those backstage booths that only the people who were there got to see, and you get to see online. But not the people who just sat through the press conference and didn't get to see. I was like, why wasn't there a Kiwami 2 trailer? Or, gets PlayStation players hyped up for a new Yakuza game or get some of the people who were there to say, hey, whoa, what is this game? That was my thing, and to see these games not get be part of these E3 presentations, and oh, they just show all the big games. Oh, let's talk about these big games for a moment. It's mostly cutscenes. Most of them are. Some of them they'll show some gameplay, but for the most part, all the biggest titles they get announced, it's just cutscenes. No actual gameplay until like five, 2 or 3 E3s later when the game is close to being finished. It's just like, what's the point of showing it? Like I'm here for more for the gameplay. I mean, E3 to me, and and sometimes they don't deliver. Let's talk about that one. I mean, to me, E3 is more about delivery at this point rather than surprises. Oh, I'm so excited for this game, man. This excited for this announcement because there have been so many games that people were excited for, or I was excited for, that just bombed when it was released, and they guys all question like, what happened during development? And we get we were shown gameplay or we played the game, and the game got so much change until at launch. It was just like, what happened? It makes us all question like, what happened? And like, why did we award this press conference back then? It makes me wonder that. And I feel all that is due to being lied to. That's the thing that always bugs me. That the fact that all these developers would just lie up front, would show us these amazing potential games, and would just lie in front of us to make us all excited for this game, to then being lied to. It just hurts. And it's just gross. The fact that they sit here and show us something amazing, and the fact that's all a dream. In actuality, this or that happened. Like with Anthem, we were all it seemed exciting back in 2017, but I know some people may have suspicions that it might not be good because it's EA, they might mess it up, but it had the potential to be good. But everything that was shown and talked about just before release, just before day one, was a complete and utter lie. And that's what I hate so much about E3. We get excited for something, then when the game releases, we all get lied to. This shouldn't happen to gaming. They should be honest to us. That's why I feel that games should be shown when they're close to being done, because anything can change during development. Because it's one thing to get excited, but the people have to understand games change during development, so anything can happen within that 1 or 2 years or that last few months before release. Anything can happen and anything can change. So it's best to be a little bit. So that's why I feel. That's also why I feel E3 shouldn't be more about surprises. It should be more on delivery. That's what people should focus on more of, rather than being too excited. Because this past generation, there's been so many rush games and so many games that just didn't deliver on their promises. Noticeably, from most of the biggest studios from back in the sixth and seventh generation of gaming. Games studios like Bethesda, BioWare, and Dice. And these companies just hadn't delivered within recent years with some of their big games like Anthem, Fallout 76, and so many others. And they all just bombed because they all lied to our face. And they were just like, and they all respond with, oh, well, listen, that happened. Like, Anthem. The E3 presentation back in 2017 was a fake. Fallout 76, Todd knew that it wasn't going to be that great, despite telling us that, oh, the game's going to look amazing and the game's going to play beautifully. He just lied to us in our face. It's just like, why? Like, why mislead consumers like that? You should not be misleading consumers, and that's that's what always angers me on the delivery part. Like, it's one thing to be excited, but if you can't deliver on your promises and stuff, you're just gonna anger consumers because consumers are being very picky this time around. Not a lot of people have time or money to play garbage games, or just products that are just not that should be in the grill more. I just feel that E3 shouldn't be about surprises at this point. I feel as though people should focus more on delivery because for most developers not to deliver on their promises and what they've been hyping up from E3 and them getting the award. Oh, we're getting us hyped up the surprise. I just don't see that anymore, especially with this generation nowadays. And on to the next generation with because games nowadays get rushed and it's just and we also and most consumers are very careful what they purchase and you have to like there's a bigger expectation around this time around and there's a bigger expectation this time around about making good games and a lot of these companies just fall flat on that. There's been a lot of developers and publishers that haven't been as great as they used to be in the past. BioWare, Bethesda, EA has never been good. Um, but yeah, and so many of these just aren't doing that well. It's kind of one of the reasons gaming as a whole is just being hurt right now. Oh yeah, Activision, Blizzard. I can't forget those guys. Um, this is why this generation of gaming is just hasn't been that great. It has been pretty weak. Not to say there hasn't been any good games that come out. Resident Evil 2, the remake, Persona 5, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the Crash Bandicoot, Spyro trilogy, remaked, um, and Yakuza, all the Yakuza games on PS4 and PC. But there hasn't been like a strong, but they're not as strong amount as say the seven, six, especially the sixth and fifth generation, where we had a strong amount of good games to play on those consoles, of the fifth and sixth generation. It comes to mind. So many creative, thoughtful, so many creative, thought-provoking fun fun games and original titles that started a franchise and to see them just being downgraded to this live service DLC nonsense practice. I mean, it's just kind of just what hurts, old school gaming. And now that apparently Sony and Microsoft it's apparently now all three of them, Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, are starting the whole full cloud gaming, and if Sony and Microsoft push this forward too, oh man, is it gonna hurt? Is it gonna hurt gaming, in my opinion? Because if you don't know what cloud gaming is, it's basically if you don't know about cloud gaming, it's that basically you can like, stream all the single player online multiplayer games on any device. It could be on the console, it could be on your TV, it could be on your computer, laptop, iPad. You stream all those, but the catch is, of course, you need an internet connection, and that is what's worrying people, and that is what's worrying people about the future of gaming is that cloud service is gonna really hurt gaming in general. The fact that these all these companies are now pushing this service is gonna really hurt gaming in general, at least in my opinion. So basically, with cloud gaming getting pushed and just need not being interested in E3 because of how Sometimes it's hard to sit through press conferences. Sometimes it's good to sit through press conferences. It's very inconsistent. I just that's why I'm skipping this year's E3. Basically, I'm skipping this year's E3 and future E3s after it. And then you could do the same if you want to, or if you just still like the gaming industry because there's a small glimmer of hope for some of these games you are excited to see at E3, then hey, all power to you. But to me, no. I have no interest in E3 no more. It's just with how inconsistent it is, how these developers just lie to your face when these games finally launch, how everything we get, how it's hard to sit through these cringe-inducing moments with all these stars and just people who just don't know how to play these games. It's just so difficult, and I have no interest in E3 watching E3 no more. I have no interest in watching E3 live stream. It's just it's just best for me to drop E3. And if you don't like those parts about E3 too, then it's best to drop it at this point. And also this year, Sony skipped E3. Well, I don't you know I don't think they'll have much games to show at E3 anyway. If you look at last year, I mean, like, and especially at the State of Play, they didn't have much games shown. I mean, State of Play would have been a lot better if they had Judgment. Judgment was not shown in neither of the State of Plays. What did I say about gaming? Holly, please come back. Holly from PlayStation Access, please come back. I miss you so much. You were the only reason that this. You were one of the big reasons. You were one of the big contributors of this series. Please come back. Oh, I miss you so much.